Piccolo Jr. enacts his plan, but with some smart thinking, Goku and Vegeta barely make it by. But Piccolo is nowhere near done yet. Where does he go next? We'll be covering all that and more in this finale of What If Goku Was Piccolo's Vessel. Stuck in the time chamber, Piccolo Jr. trains in here for a bit. He stays in here for so long that, by the time the spell wears off, he doesn't even realize it. He continues training, but he's able to leave, completely destroying the time chamber and then heading into space. He's going to grow strong enough to steal even more power, and by relying on that technique, no one will contest him. Plus, he should try and gather info from a distance. Thanks to magic, he could do this, tracking Goku and Vegeta's every move and learning more about that god of destruction as well. He needs to make sure all his bases are covered. And his time chamber training has really helped him unlock his physical power. Now he's at a level much higher than before. But still, he can never be too safe. The Universe 6 tournament eventually rolls around. Goku and Vegeta want to use the time chamber, and they talk to Mr. Popo, who did actually rebuild it himself, learning that Piccolo actually destroyed it and escaped, but he hasn't been seen anywhere since. It doesn't really matter to Goku and Vegeta. The next time they encounter Piccolo, they will be more than prepared. This time chamber is still Kami's, so they don't really have that much time in there, but hey, it's better than nothing, especially because Popo was able to rebuild it. For the Tournament of Destroyers, the team is Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, Krillin, and Ten. But Goku's the first one up, and he pretty much sweeps everything. Even when he gets hit by Frost Poison, that doesn't matter. He could regenerate. Just like his body did with the Heart Virus, it counters the poison somehow. Pretty much instinctively. He didn't even realize he was poisoned. Besides Hit, Vegeta's actually the toughest fight because he's trying to wear Goku out. But he gets through it. And as for Hit, using Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken is pretty easy. It's a lot more advanced here, especially with his regeneration. He got the hang of it much earlier on, and he's much better with it, using it to defeat Hit and single-handedly win the tournament. The others wish they got a chance to fight, especially Vegeta, but Beerus is very happy. He knew Goku was powerful, but didn't realize he grew to that extent. Following the tournament, there's no stuff with Zamasu because there's no time traveler here. Sure, he'd probably see the fights on GodTube and get mad about Goku using Godly Ki, but he'd never learn about mortals time traveling because that didn't happen here. The closest thing is Hit manipulating time. Even though the tournament went well, Goku's mind is somewhere else. He's trying to go beyond his current limits, but also, he really wonders where Piccolo's at and what he's up to. Whis decides to look into it, because Piccolo's been very quiet. So, what did happen with Piccolo? Well, after he left Earth, he went out into space, both for knowledge and for power. Amidst his travels at one point, he came across somewhere where there was a lot of powers in one spot, and it turned out to be the Galactic Patrol prison. And he could sense a really strong magical presence in there, maybe someone whose power he could steal. And the person who he detected detects him. It's Moro. Moro still barely has any magic, especially because this is earlier on, but Buu's death unsealed that magic. He could sense Piccolo sensing him. He proposes teaming up, but that's not going to be part of Piccolo's plan, going directly to where Moro is. He doesn't break Moro out of prison. He kills Moro, stealing all of his power. Thanks to Moro being so weak at this point, it was pretty easy. Moro of course tried to counter it, but Piccolo's magic was so much stronger, even though Moro was more proficient with it, and he could feel himself growing from this, seeing how Moro steals power from people. Right off the bat, Piccolo's not proficient with it, but it's already better than what he's had before. Once he learns to fully utilize this power, it'll be so much more potent. He then makes his way to Namek in an effort to get the Dragon Balls for himself. He makes pretty quick work there, trying to absorb as many Namekians as he can. And he does steal a lot of their power, not fully assimilating with them, but just taking their energy. Although it's pretty pointless because he can't get a lot of energy from this, so he stops at some point, just trying to look for the Dragon Balls. He was hoping he'd run into the Elder, and eventually he does. It's Mori. He can't assimilate with Mori or absorb his power fully because then Porunga will disappear. However, he's the perfect bargaining chip, a hostage. Mori was worried about this, especially after what happened with Goku all those years ago. He was hoping it didn't have to come to this, but he already has a plan in mind. He lifts a hand up and then sticks it through his chest, smirking as he does so. He would literally die before he gives Piccolo the Dragon Balls. Unfortunately, he knew if he didn't do this, Piccolo would have them. And who knows what he would have wished for. This way he destroys Porunga and gatekeeps the power. But in death he's confident. He knows he'll come back. He's spoken with King Kai, who actually warned him of Piccolo coming here, and King Kai is looking for alternate options. They need to bring back Kami as well, and he has faith that Piccolo will be defeated eventually. Very soon, Piccolo will face his downfall. Piccolo's incredibly angered by this, cursing everything. Out of anger, he rips out all of the energy from Namek, absorbing it all at once just to kill everyone and destroy it. Eating the energy as Moro would. It's not very quick since he doesn't have full control yet, but this was good practice, and he did grow marginally from it. But he can go even farther. And you know what? If there aren't any Dragon Balls here, it doesn't matter. There's one other set he's aiming for, the Super Dragon Balls. The only reason he hasn't gotten them yet is because they haven't reactivated yet. By spying on Goku and the others, he's learned of them. In due time, they will reactivate, so he just has to wait for a bit. And eventually they do reactivate, but the second they do, they're taken by somebody. First of all, Piccolo doesn't even know how to get to the Super Dragon Balls. He eventually did find Zuno, but it's going to be really tough, especially because he has to go to Universe 6 for some of them. And Zeno and the Grand Priest get their hands on the Dragon Balls. Because earlier on, they plan to host the Tournament of Power. Piccolo is still spying on Goku and the others, and he learns of this going on. He also learns that the Super Dragon Balls are the prize. And this really worries him, because if they get the Super Dragon Balls, who knows what they'd wish for? On top of that, if Universe 7 loses, he's gone. No matter what, he needs to get his hands on the Super Dragon Balls before anybody else can. He would have liked some more time to prepare, but it looks like now's the time to make his move. As Goku's recruiting people on Earth, Piccolo teleports to him, finally showing himself after all this time. Goku's ready to fight, but Piccolo says he's not here to fight. He's here to join Goku, wanting to join the team for the Tournament of Power. Of course, Goku's ready to kill Piccolo right now, but Piccolo assures Goku that he needs his power. Goku doesn't see why he has to do that. They could just fight here and end it now. But Piccolo's not going to let that happen. That would be stupid of him. If Goku tries to fight him, he'll simply just teleport away. Well, why does that matter to Goku then? They could do the tournament without Piccolo. Well, Piccolo has a proposition. First of all, Piccolo's pretty sure he's the strongest mortal in the universe right now. He'd be a very valuable asset for the team. But more importantly, Goku should realize that if Piccolo doesn't join Team Universe 7, he'll find a way to another universe and insert himself into that team. He's sure one of them's going to be short a fighter and would need someone strong like him. They could either have him on their team, or they could fight against him. Fighting here right now isn't an option, especially because Goku's not too sure if he could win right at the moment. With everyone else, maybe he can, but they can't risk that right before the tournament because they might lose some fighters, and if somebody dies, they can't bring them back right now. Piccolo says that the Dragon Balls on Namek are gone too. Goku's also aware of this. King Kai had told him before. They prepared for that outcome. They wanted to wait until Piccolo was dead to use the Dragon Balls, but now there are no Dragon Balls to use, which means they can't bring people like Kami back, nor anybody killed by Piccolo if he kills more people. King Kai did hatch an alternate plan, but that's irrelevant right now. The rest of the team hears that Piccolo wants to join. Gohan's the leader here, and of course Beerus hears about it too because he's the god of destruction, with Vegeta also giving input. So they can't fight Piccolo here because Piccolo can just kill them on the spot, or simply retreat if he needs to. But they know he wants to go for the Super Dragon Balls, and if he doesn't join this team, he will join another. That would be even worse because he'd be directly against them, although even on their team he'll probably fight them. But Beerus steps up to Piccolo. He has a very simple solution. Why not just destroy him right now? He holds out a hand in front of Piccolo's face, charging energy, and Piccolo just laughs at it. What? Do they think he didn't prepare for this? Does Beerus really want to destroy him? What is he getting at? Well, he welcomes the Hakai. He tells Beerus he was looking to obtain a technique like this, and if Beerus uses it on him, that would be great. He could probably even absorb the attack, not only granting him immunity, but also the ability to use it himself. Beerus can try it, he'll just be making him stronger. He theorizes no one besides Zeno could destroy him because he has counters for all this stuff thanks to his magic. But Beerus says that's ridiculous. First of all, his magic can't be that strong. Second of all, Beerus could just use a greater amount of power and make sure Piccolo can't absorb it. And Piccolo says that might be true, especially since Beerus is still far above him in power. But a melee trick like that won't work on him anymore. He's planned for it. Who's to say he doesn't have a backup plan? And again, does Beerus really want to risk giving him this power? Beerus is willing to test his bluff, but the others talk him down from it. Beerus doesn't like that they're doubting him, but Whis agrees too. They can't be too safe. Goku and Vegeta butt in too and say they saw what he did with other powers. And he is one to have a backup plan. Maybe this won't stop him. Piccolo planned ahead. They won't just destroy him on the spot. Beerus backs down, and it's a good thing he didn't do that because Piccolo actually was just bluffing. He doesn't know for sure. And if the Hakai worked against him, it would have actually destroyed him completely. He might have been able to absorb it, but he didn't know himself. It's a good thing the bluff worked. So, Universe 7 has a new focus. Gohan gives everyone the plan without filling Piccolo in, obviously. Although he has clairvoyance, he's still watching them. Their plan is just to keep as many people in the ring as possible and get Piccolo out as soon as possible too. That way, it'll ensure he can't be the MVP. But Piccolo has his own plan. When the tournament starts, he makes sure to keep people in the ring from every other universe, making sure none of the universes get eliminated. He focuses on the stronger fighters first, analyzing them and keeping the weakest from other universes in the ring. This way he could assure that Universe 7 isn't the last one standing. It needs to be him versus some other universe and nobody else from his universe in the ring. That guarantees him getting the wish. He's actively working against Universe 7 right away. The Pride Troopers decide to face him, and he eliminates most of them. Again, only leaving some of the weaker ones in the ring. Realizing Jiren's a threat, he decides to face him. Jiren actually does seem pretty powerful, and Piccolo's not too sure if he could take him on just yet. But he showcases his full strength, transforming into a brand new form, his orange form. After assimilating with Kami and training for more time, he was able to unlock this side of himself. And to make things even easier, he could just absorb energy from Jiren. He takes about half of Jiren's energy, just to assure he could win, and just to boost himself even further. And pretty easily, he gets a ring out for Jiren, with Piccolo taunting the weaker Pride Troopers that are still in the ring. Thankfully he didn't absorb and copy Toppo's power because he hadn't taken out his God of Destruction abilities just yet. But still, this is bad. Piccolo's already grown stronger and has knocked a lot of people out. And even though Universe 7 didn't expect to fight him right here and now, especially in this setting, Goku and Vegeta have made preparations. Goku will stop this. Goku goes into Blue Kaioken, attacking Piccolo. And with a single punch, Piccolo sends him flying out of the ring. But Piccolo feels weird, like the energy he just took from Jiren is gone now, and he's not sure why. He's then attacked from behind, looking to see Goku's there. Wait, he was just knocked out of the ring. That must have been a clone or something. But things are getting weird now. Goku and Piccolo continue fighting, with Vegeta even jumping at some points to get some attacks in. And Piccolo's energy slowly starts to feel duller. He's rapidly losing power and he doesn't know why. It's not all of his power, it just feels like the excess power that he's absorbed. What he doesn't realize is that King Kai helped Goku and Vegeta even further, by pointing them to planet Yardrat. They spent a few months there learning spirit control, which allowed them to learn instant transmission, as well as force spirit fission. A perfect counter to Piccolo's magic. They didn't even account for the fact that he had Moro's abilities, this is just based on what he had before. They're fighting fire with fire here. Vegeta then starts fighting Piccolo. Piccolo is still above them in terms of power, but all the energy he absorbed from other fighters here is gone now. The energy from Namek can't be returned because they're in a completely different spot right now. But Vegeta and Goku even got some energy back himself because he did steal energy from them before. The rest of Team Universe 7 joins in to fight him. By the way, the team itself is pretty much the same, except Frieza and the androids aren't here. Yamcha, Goten, and Trunks have taken their place, but Piccolo thinks this team won't be able to do anything to him. He's distracted by them, and behind him, Goku's there, slowly gathering energy from everyone for a spirit bomb. For the longest time he wasn't able to do this thanks to Piccolo, but now he actually can. And with this attack, he'll finish Piccolo off. He launches the spirit bomb, and Piccolo tries to counter it at the last moment. He almost tries to absorb it but feels like that would be a bad idea. Something is ominous about it. So instead, he channels his own energy into it and tries to send it back to Goku, which ends up working and seemingly killing Goku. This terrifies everyone else because that means Goku's permanently dead, but that also means Piccolo's eliminated, right? He just killed someone. Although weirdly enough he stays in the ring, because Goku's not dead. He awakens from this, going into Ultra Instinct Omen for the first time. And it's strange, he knows he's been training for this, but even though it's the first time he's attained it, he feels like he has really good control on it. First of all, he did regenerate after getting hit by the Spirit Bomb, which did take a lot of stamina, but he's gotten healed for the most part. Also, thanks to the purity granted to him by Porunga, on top of everything he did to counter Piccolo before, he has such a better grasp on his mental state. Nothing is clouding his mind or heart. But still, he could tell the power is fleeting. He splits himself into two, using Piccolo's own technique. One of the Goku's attacks, while another stays behind to create another Spirit Bomb. Why is he so persistent with that? Why another Spirit Bomb that didn't work before? Piccolo realizes something must be special about that attack to use on him. This time Goku has a better idea. He asks everybody to lend energy. He knows they're competitors, but they know a way to save every universe, and they need to stop Piccolo to do that. Obviously the rest of the competitors are very hesitant at first, especially the Gods of Destruction. Why would they help Universe 7? And on top of that, why is Piccolo here in the first place if he's causing all of these issues? Some of the people from Universe 7 try and explain, even including the gods of the universe besides Whis. Beerus is pretty worried about this too because if Piccolo's bluff from before was true, he should be able to absorb the Spirit Bomb, right? Although it's weird, he seems a little bit worried and he didn't try to absorb the Spirit Bomb before. Maybe he was bluffing, maybe there are some things he can't absorb. But what's so different about Goku's energy? Is it that purifying factor of it? Beerus can't tell for sure just yet, and while they try and convince the others, one person in the stand stands up, lending his energy to Goku. It's Hit. He fought Goku before, and he trusts his judgment. He would like to face him again as well. Champa can't believe it. It's really uncharacteristic for Hit to do this, but it looks like Goku really left an impression on him. Slowly, some of the others from other universes begin doing this too. The Pride Troopers join. Even Jiren does. They are facing a villain after all, and it's right to help the other universes stop him. Piccolo is fighting all of Universe 7, including half of Goku at once. He's using everything he can think of. His absorption won't work, but he splits himself into multiple fighters. He could teleport, he can create barriers, he could paralyze people. He tries everything he can. But that clone of Goku is countering Piccolo's magic. He doesn't have nearly the same amount of magic that Piccolo has, but after the two of them split, he kept some of it. And in Ultra Instinct, he's actively using that as well as the power of this form to stop Piccolo. Both physically with the power of Ultra Instinct, and magically with the power of his own magic. It's not much, but it really does help. Piccolo sees the Spirit Bomb growing larger and larger. He tries to attack the Goku that's charging the bomb, but every time he does, he just dodges instantly. Ultra Instinct keeps him safe. And then, the two Gokus merge back together. The Spirit Bomb is complete. And he doesn't throw the Spirit Bomb at Piccolo. Instead, he just instinctively absorbs it. Piccolo's plan worked against him. By not eliminating the other universes, that left more energy for Goku to gather for the Spirit Bomb. And Beerus yells out to Piccolo from the stands. He seems really worried. He was bluffing, wasn't he? Then Beerus laughs it off, even lending his own energy to Goku. The whole time Zeno was amazed. This is really entertaining. Goku absorbs the full power of the Spirit Bomb, being fueled by it, and even briefly, it makes his hair turn silver, going into the completed Ultra Instinct. But right before he attacks, Vegeta does one more thing, splitting Kami from Piccolo. He waited to the last moment to ensure Piccolo would die, but also to make sure Kami might be saved, even though he might die after the fact from being linked to Piccolo. Still, this is at least bound to help. Piccolo tries to stop Goku's attack, but nothing works. A giant dragon forms around Goku, generated from Ultra Instinct's aura. With a Dragon Fist, Goku flies right through Piccolo, channeling all of the power of the Spirit Bomb through him. And it's overwhelming. Before, the purifying energy was able to be countered by Piccolo. It didn't even seem to affect him, but the power of it has been dialed up so significantly here that he can't do anything against it. Not to mention the regular raw power of it, and the fact that his absorption is being countered by Force Spirit Fission. The energy of every universe flows through him. No one could survive an attack like this. And Piccolo's completely obliterated. Goku is then instantly eliminated from the tournament, having killed someone. But Universe 7 cleans up the rest, with Universe 7 winning the tournament, and Kami being the MVP. All of Piccolo's eliminations went to him, and somehow he's still alive. He really doesn't know how. It must have to do with Goku purifying Piccolo completely. So, despite doing nothing, he's the MVP. And he makes a very simple wish. He knows exactly what to do. He's amazed by what he's seeing around him, all of the higher gods and now his Super Shenron. But only one wish makes sense for him, even though it goes directly against Zeno. He restores all of the other universes. Goku's in the stands exhausted, but he thanks Kami. That went really well. First of all, he didn't expect Kami to even survive. But second of all, he didn't expect Kami to be the MVP and make the right wish. It's a good thing that all worked out for them. And thankfully, once they get back to their universe, Kami could use the Dragon Balls on Earth because they're back, reviving any good person killed by Piccolo's actions. Thankfully, Namek wasn't fully destroyed. After leaving the tournament, the energy stuck with Vegeta and he just simply disperses it, with it returning to its original source. Thanks to Shenron, the Namekians are brought back. And Mori is brought back too because, even though he did it to himself, it still was because of Piccolo's actions. King Kai was prepared to find another set of Dragon Balls somewhere else. Somewhere out in the universe there might be something. But it's a good thing this all went so smoothly. Kami's just relieved that all of this is over, and same for Goku too. After all this time, Piccolo's reign of terror has finally ended. They're free. Earth is back to normal. Goku's back to normal. Everything is back. Although, this isn't even close to the end of their challenges. After all, a certain android hasn't showed up yet. But Piccolo's story has ended, so we end this story as a whole. What do you guys think about this scenario? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to see what you think. As usual, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. It really does help with the channel and shows me you want to see more videos like this one. Anyways, thank you all for watching, thanks for supporting this scenario all the way through, and I'll see you all in my next video.